Living in harmony is possible if you know your emotions and how to handle them. In this podcast, Dr. Carmen Roman will share with you, in an engaging way, the current psychology by sharing herself or interviewing experts who will inspire you. Learn how to live a life of fullness and how to recover your emotional harmony with Dr. Roman. Welcome to Emotions in Harmony.
Hola amigos in harmony. This is Dr. Carmen Roman. One more time, talking and sharing with you my insights as a therapist. This time I want to share my insights as a couples therapist. I have 25 years working with individuals, with families, with couples. And the topic of infidelity, unfortunately, is a very common one. Actually, it's more frequent than we may think. We experience infidelity, and sometimes the couple keep it to themselves, of course, it's important. They don't share with families or friends, or they keep it secret and they deal in a secret way. The problem is that they keep it secret from their therapist as well. And that doesn't help. Some couples, they take long time to trust and to share something like that with me, because of course it's painful. And once we work on it, hopefully it brings some light to their relationship, it brings something new to their relationship. So, and they keep it secret because there is shame about this topic. There is guilt, there is pain, there is broken, something is broken in the relationship. So if you are in individual therapy or if you are in couples therapy, just know that this is a very important topic that you can bring to your therapist and work on it. And if you don't feel confident to bring to your therapist, maybe you want to share therapists just for this particular topic. You may want to go to an expert in couples therapy. So there are three components to call it infidelity, to call our relationship an unfaithful one. That relationship needs to be secret from the person who is in the official relationship. Let's put it that way. It has a sexual or an emotional intimacy with somebody other than the couple. This relationship affects deeply the person once she knows or he knows, and affects the way the relationship goes, and sometimes or affects deeply the financial relationship of the couple. What are the predisposing factors of an infidelity? Well, recently, and in the last couple decades, of course, the birth control has helped, because now people is less afraid to have babies and they can control that. So it has been a helpful thing for people to go and seek another partner. The lack of time of interaction in the couples, they don't connect, they don't have fun together. They sometimes forgot what does mean this intimacy, this sexual connection even. So something is dying in this relationship. It's not always that way, because as a therapist I can tell you that also happy couples experience infidelity. Stay with me today, because we are going to explore a little more on that. But a happy couple can experience infidelity as well. The inability to relate to each other in a healthy way. If you and the person in the couple, if you and your partner don't know how to have a healthy conversation, and you don't have communication skills, and if you fight constantly or something, that's something that will trigger unfaithful event. Also, the fear of losing oneself in a relationship. Sometimes I told you about happy couples or couples that are doing okay, but the person experiences some fear that I will lose myself in this relationship, so I want to rescue myself in another relationship. And sometimes it's just a personal need for exploring new horizons. It's like, I just want to explore, I just want to know who I am, so I am going to be unfaithful. This episode is not about justifying anybody who is unfaithful. It is about exploring the topic. So just learning about the topic and how and what you can do about it with your partner to go into the healing journey. What are the common characteristics in people who commit infidelity? They are looking for moments of happiness, for moments of feeling alive. This is something that I hear very often when somebody is thinking or is about or just commit some relationship, just enter a relationship, an unfaithful relationship. That sense that, oh, finally somebody cares for me, or finally somebody sees me for the person that I am. That need for moments of happiness. And also, most of these people, they didn't think about it, the other person or their surroundings. They just forget about the moment and they go on the moment. They want to experience the moment and they forget about the consequences. A lot of people experience that way. It's like, oh, it just happened. I didn't think about my partner, or I didn't think about my husband or my wife, or, They are trapped in the uncertainty of whether they will be able to live again with enthusiasm. Sometimes they are questioning themselves. Am I going to be happy again? And I am going to experience love, tender, care, etc. So they think, oh, I am not of interest for anybody. And then somebody shows up and shows interest and is like, wow, that's fresh news, good news. It is very rarely has to do with a couple, as I said before. Very, very rarely. Also, it's very interesting, but a person who is unfaithful has a desire to care for someone. Sometimes this relationship comes of the need for caring for somebody who is special. Of course, I already told you, the need to feel special, to feel important for somebody else. But also, as a teenager, sometimes we want to cross limits, and when we come in our 30s, 40s, 50s, we want to cross limits again, just for the sake of crossing limits. So infidelity not always has to do with the couple being broken or being in unhealthy way. What are my reflections from my own experience as a therapist? Well, I have this saying. We have this saying in Spanish. In Spanish, we say, nadie se muere de amor, which means nobody dies of love. Nobody dies of being hurt or being betrayed or something. I agree with you, since it can be very painful. Yeah, you may argue somebody may actually want to die. Yeah, but technically nobody dies. It's extremely painful, but we can deal with that and we can either rescue the relationship or recover the relationship or recover at least your own happiness. So it's a painful, but it's a very wonderful material for recovery and for even recovering your own happiness, for recovering your own path to your own growth. I don't deserve that to anybody. It's extremely painful. It's important to learn what is the part that you are playing on it. What happened? It's important, at least for the sake of analyzing the process, to take 50% of the guilt and say what happened, what I did, what I didn't did. What is it? Let's explore together what I am not bringing to the relationship that I can bring, and probably we can rescue the relationship. It's not in the sense that I am asking you to apologize to the person who is unfaithful to you. No. It's more that I am inviting you to have an honest conversation that helps in the healing recovery. What I refuse to see is another question that is very important. What I didn't want to see that I am clearly seeing now. How I can improve myself if we were to continue as a couple. what does this new relationship help in the system? Because sometimes an unfaithful relationship comes to alleviate some bigger and other secret moments. Like, for example, if the couple, they're already in a very bad shape financially, or they are dealing with some of their children who is sick, or they are dealing with heavy sickness in one of the couples, in one of the person in the relationship. So sometimes it has to do with that extra relationship bringing some relief or some life again. Infidelity definitely is a weapon that kills the relationship, or can be an incentive to actually create a stronger foundation for that relationship. So not always infidelity kills the relationship. It can be actually the strong foundation we need to create the new relationship you want with your partner. I often see the sadness, and oh my God, it's so painful to see the sadness and the broken heart of the person who knew less. It's very impressive. When I see that, I say to myself, this is a long process of recovery. So we all want to do the best. My work as a therapist is to work with you in the healing process, and to work, if I have the couple, to work as a couple, and also to create some safe space around for the person who knew less, to heal, to recover, to ask questions, to spend some time alone, because it's important when it comes to recover from this broken heart. Most couples stay together. In my experience as a therapist, most couples stay together after a relationship. Sometimes even they come to therapy way later. They recover, they went together, and then they have other issues in communication, and then this is when they come to couples therapy with me. But my experience is that most couples stay together, and when it's worked very well, most couples make the best of it, and they keep going for the best. The person who knew the less, also is important that they check. This person checks what he or she needs from the relationship from now on. It's like, if we are going to stay together, this is what I need. It is possible to have a deep and honest conversation that rescue the relationship and give you a fresh start. And it's also very possible to have a deep and honest conversation and do a divorce or separation or something and start on your own. Whatever it is possible to have a deep and honest conversation without being aggressive or offensive. Or the first thing I ask in the session, in the room, is let's hold the angry comments, let's hold the need to harm the other person, because it's not helping us in the recovery. I know you are angry. I know you want to destroy something, and we need to work on that anger. We need to provide you with some techniques to work with that anger. But hurting the relationship or hurting the person that you love is going to harm you as well. It's going to be painful to you. So I try in the couple to stay as clean as possible on talking about the infidelity, is to stay in the way to honoring the love that exists in the couple or existed before, if that is not the case anymore. On the way to healing, I suggest couples to avoid harassing questions that describe intimate moments in another relationship. That is not helpful, and it can be so harmful. Avoid questions, please, to fill out your curiosity. It's none of your business, period. It's none of your business how the person has an intimate relationship with the other one. It's none of your business for that person to describe to you intimate details. Because it's a very, you have that curiosity, but you have that curiosity not because you want to know. You have that curiosity because you want to know what is not working in your relationship. That is a better question. What is not working? What did you learn? I will have for you a set of questions at the last part of this episode today that you can ask instead of these intimate moments. For the person who committed the infidelity, who was unfaithful, I will ask, please, when you are ready, take your time, and when you are ready, express a sincere apology. It is important, it's very important to honor your partner, but by really, from your heart, saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I know this is so painful for you. Everybody needs to hear that. When we are harmed, when somebody did something to us, that is the beginning of the healing journey. And I'm telling you, don't do that sincere apology until you are really ready to do it, until it's sincere. Because if you say, I'm sorry, and probably you are thinking, oh, okay, nothing happened, I will do it again. That doesn't help in the relationship, at least not for a healthy one. The one who knows less must have an intentional healing journey of self-care and love. If you discover that your partner is being unfaithful and you are in deep pain, it's important that you take care and you own your process of healing. You take your healing journey. It's up to you. Nobody is going to help you with that, yeah? So you say, I am going to take time, I am going to take my personal therapy, I'm going to speak to my very close friends or my family members. I am going to take care of myself. Find the company of friends and relatives who love you and with whom you can speak without being advised or being judged. That is very important. Friends and family members that can genuinely express their concern for you. Because when you talk with a friend or family members and your friend is telling you, oh, my partner is unfaithful, and you start offending the other person, that doesn't help. That doesn't help the person. That doesn't, unless you take like these 5 minutes of, like let's go for it, let's offend them together and blah, blah, blah. But I don't suggest that. That person needs to talk. So this is the last segment, and I want to offer to you a list of questions that you can use to grow as a couple. Those are questions that I sit and work with my clients, and we can work together in their healing journey as a couple. I'm sure I think I got it from Esther Perl, which is an expert in infidelity, in the topic of infidelity. I have read so many books at this point of infidelity, but look for Esther Perl in internet, and it's delightful. She has a TED Talk. It's very delightful to hear. Probably I will put in the show notes a link to her TED Talk or to her interviews. But this set of questions, some of them I came up with it and then I polish them as I am going in the process. But if we are working with recovering from infidelity in a couple, I want to know what, as a therapist, I ask that question. What's those relationship with that person meant to you? What is it? What was it? It was fun. It was for fun. It was because you were bored. It was like, I want to know what was the motivation to start another relationship. And as I told you before, most of the times, the person didn't think about the consequences or didn't think about how it will be painful for the partner. So that is important to know. What does mean that person to you now? What is it for you now? It is important. You want to keep that relationship, or are you ready to finish that relationship, or maybe just finished the relationship a while ago? What did you learn from you by being in that relationship that can serve the couple now? What did you learn from you when you were in that relationship? One of my clients say, I learned that love can be fun. Love can be like, refreshing, new. Okay, that's good. What did you learn about you? I learned that I can have fun with sex. Oh, that's nice. So let's bring that and let's insert that into this couple. How we can make it that you guys can have fun in your sexual relationship, or you guys can have fun together doing some things together. Another question is, What did you find in that relationship that you don't no longer find in this relationship that we are trying to rescue? And then we bring those lessons and we try to put it in this relationship. What do you value about this relationship that makes you want to be in this relationship? What do you value about him or her that wants you to stay, makes you to stay? Or the reasons why you want to stay in this relationship. What the infidelity teach the couple? Both of them, the one who commit the infidelity and the one who knew the less. What teach you, the both of you? And the final question is, what do you guys want for your life as a couple? What is it from now on? What are the goals? What are the dreams? What are the hopes for this relationship? And then we start from there. As I told you before, many couples recover from an event of infidelity and actually use that event of infidelity to learn from themselves, to learn as a couple, to recover and to have more fulfilled lives, to have better sexual life, to have better communication skills, to have assertiveness, to care for each other. When it's something that is extremely painful or when it's something that is a repetitive event, of course, this is a different story. That implies way more work in the couple. I hope this topic has been helpful to you, or you can share it with somebody that you know is suffering from this. The intention with this podcast is to share some insights that help you to grow as a person, as a family, as a couple. And this is the intention. The podcast Emotions in Harmony is for you to live more balanced life, a more happy life, creative life. So we all struggle. Couples go through very different process. When you see happy couples, don't assume that they were happy all the time. Probably they needed to go through this process again. So when you see happy couples and you trust them, you can ask if they ever, and you are going through this painful process, you can ask if they ever suffered from that and what they did with that. Of course, you can bring that material to your therapist. I hope that was helpful. Please share, subscribe to the podcast Emotions in Harmony. You can go to emotionsinharmony.com and subscribe there and listen to other episodes. You can email me to carmen@armoniaemocional.com, carmen@armoniaemocional.com. I will put that in the show notes, or you can send me an email and say, Carmen, I am thinking about this topic. Why you don't prepare something about this topic? And I promise you I will slowly find my way through. More interviews are coming. I have a lineup of interviews that are very interesting, both in English and Spanish. So stay with us, and until the next episode, have fun. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Join us for the next podcast of Emotions in Harmony. We hope you have more tools to put what you have learned here into practice. Visit carmenroman.net, where you can be in touch with Dr. Roman.